Alright, we're back with part 2. The last stream crashed. Let's hope YouTube saved it. Let's hope YouTube saved it. Let's crush this next hour of the news zone. Hopefully with no issues. Something must have gone crazy with the YouTube algorithm. It took everybody away from me. We should be rolling fine now. Double check the text chat real quick. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, another drop. Another drop. Welcome back. Welcome back. We got a little bit of time. I have till 10 a.m. my time, so no rush. I don't know why the internet decided to go down. Metropolis problems, man. Metropolis problems. Ooh, okay. Get my news back up. Ooh, there's Conald from last night. Ah, okay. Screen share into Discord. Set this whole thing back up again, gang. Again, I got the time. I got the time today. Kind of. I do have work later. But yeah. Let's watch this last story about Biden again. How about that? Again, if you're just now tuning in, or you happen to catch this stream post-mortem, there's a part 1. It doesn't say part 1. Same headline, doesn't say part 2. Check it out.
In Washington this morning, President Biden will deliver a new response to the recent Supreme Court ruling allowing states to outlaw abortion. Many Democrats have criticized the president for not acting more strongly after the justices overturned the Roe versus Wade decision, which made abortion a constitutional right. Christina Ruffini is at the White House this morning. Christina, what's the president expected to say?
Good morning, Dana. In just a few hours, we're expecting the president to take his first concrete steps towards protecting abortion access. And as you mentioned, this comes amid growing pressure from his own party to do more. Now, the president is expected to announce that he's going to direct HHS to protect access to medication abortion and take steps to ensure emergency medical care for pregnant women and those experiencing pregnancy loss. The order will direct agencies to educate medical providers and insurers about how and when they are required to share privileged patient information with authorities, information abortion rights advocates fear could be used to prosecute women who've had the procedure. The president will also ask the Federal Trade Commission to take steps to protect the privacy of those seeking reproductive care online. Now, since the court's ruling, at least 10 states have enacted a near total ban on abortion. Within months, the procedure could be illegal or severely restricted in almost half the states.
Right on, Arianthe. Arianthe messed up, accepted a job. Hey, no worries. I'm going to be out of here in an hour, but I might catch you in a bit. And I'll be back this afternoon. I've got to work for a few hours, and then I'll be back.
But Dana, President Biden has stressed there's only so much he can do without Congress and has urged lawmakers to codify the rights of Roe into federal law.
All right, Christina, thank you.
Heck yeah, dude. Heck yeah, Biden. What do we got here? Live streaming will begin momentarily. Okay, well, good, Biden. Good. Like I've been saying, there's things he can do. Let's see. Let's find the Highland Park news. Trigger warning. We're going to get into Highland Park stuff. I'm not too happy about it, but we're going to get through this together. We're going to watch the coverage. We've talked about these different unaliving attempts, things like that. Oh, heck yeah, I'm gonna play. Yeah, heck yeah, Arianthe. We're gonna play some Fall Guys tonight. I was crushing it last night. I really was. Oh, what job? Oh, good. Are you? Ooh, I don't know. You're at the DMV. I don't know. Are you ghost touring again? Are you ghost touring? You driving a truck? You truck driving? You truck driving? Let's check this out.
This morning, newly revealed police reports show several disturbing incidents involving the suspected Highland Park parade shooter and his family. A report from April 2019 saying the suspect attempted to commit suicide by machete. Less than 6 months later, police were called to the home again after the suspect threatened to kill everyone in the household. The suspect turning over multiple weapons, including a 24-inch samurai sword. Police submitting this document declaring the suspect a clear and present danger. But the suspect's father, who sponsored his son's gun permit, tells ABC News he wasn't aware of the suicide attempt and believes the threat against his family was not genuine.
Making threats to the family, I think it was taken out of context where...
Arianthe, are you 911 dispatch now? Is that what you're telling me? Are you telling me you're dispatch now? Yeah, so apparently this guy tried to the unaliving attempt was by machete? Pardon? Pardon, mi amigo? Like, are you... what? Oh, Arianthe, no, you're not going to be police dispatch? What? You're going to be a police officer? Like, legit? Is that what you're saying? Wait. Whoa. Yo, Arianthe. That's dope, though. That's dope, though. That's cool. Hey, we're the Illuminati now for real. Confirmed. We are the man. Arianthe's a cop.
Whatever he was upset about.
Officials have also
That's
released
dope,
this arrest warrant
Arianthe.
for the suspect's mother from 2002.
Crazy.
The alleged offense, endangering the life or health of a child. Police not elaborating.
What in the folk rock?
A candlelight vigil was held last night in Highland Park with the 7 victims of Monday's
You're gonna be an inmate advocate, Arianthe? That's crazy. That's crazy. Holy snap.
rampage. Funeral services for 3 of them are scheduled today.
We have each other. We will lean on each other. We will lift each other up.
We're now learning more about one of the youngest survivors of the massacre, 8-year-old Cooper Roberts, who's in critical condition on a ventilator. His family attends the July 4th parade each year.
Cooper was shot in the chest, and he suffered significant injuries.
Again, trigger warning. This one's gonna be tough. But we'll get through it together.
Including a severed spinal cord.
Doctors fear Cooper may be permanently paralyzed. His twin brother, Luke, and his mother, Julie, were also shot. His mom, waking up in a different hospital, quickly requested to be discharged when she heard about Cooper's condition.
Quite frankly, she probably should not have been discharged, but she insisted on it so that she could be at her son's side.
Yeah, Arianthe, be the change you want to see.
Father, he says his
Absolutely.
son was raised with, quote, good morals.
Guys, amidst this horrible news, Arianthe's got some good news. Everybody check out the text chat. Let's give a round of applause for Arianthe. Going out there making a change, doing the actions, doing some good. The kind of cop you want around, the kind of inmate advocate you would want, absolutely. That's awesome, Arianthe.
He says he does not regret sponsoring the gun permit, but says the system needs to be overhauled.
Ah! George Stephanopoulos got us, dude. Oh, snap. He's back. He's back. Let's see. All right, again, the internet drop took away all my links. Took away everything. Here we go. Family of Highland Park shooter breaks silence. This is from 6 hours ago. We get to hear
now
more
to the
from
latest
the
on the
family.
July 4th Highland Park shooting. Authorities are
Their
facing
audio is
questions
bad
about
at this
possible
source.
missed warning signs. ABC.
Yo, KITV, get your audio fixed. Let's go back in time. Let's fix your audio and act like that didn't happen, KITV.
Morgan Norwood reports on what the suspect's father is saying about his son and the guns he helped him obtain.
The father of the man who police say opened fire on dozens of parade goers.
Heck yes, Arian. I can't wait to hear the story.
Says he had no clue what his son had planned.
I had not an inkling, warning that, something like this was going to happen. I'm shocked.
It comes as questions continue about how his son was able to legally buy 5 guns, including high-powered assault rifles, despite multiple red flags. His father, who sponsored the application for his son's gun permit because he was under 21, telling ABC News that it was up to law enforcement to vet him.
They do background checks, whatever that entails. I'm not exactly sure.
Investigators say just months before, his son had threatened suicide and later threatened to kill family members. His father saying he didn't know about the suicide threat. The other he didn't think was real.
Making threats to the family, I think it was taken out of context where it's like just a child outburst, whatever he was upset about.
Now, authorities say Robert Cremo Jr. could face criminal charges for sponsoring that gun permit application.
We've seen more prosecutors being more aggressive with parents who should have done more to stop something like this from happening. So the maximum kind of charge that he could potentially face would be something like involuntary manslaughter.
And we're learning police were called to the family home a number of times since 2002, mainly domestic calls. Very few of them involved the suspect. Morgan Norwood, ABC News, Highland Park, Illinois.
This kid was deranged. Sheesh. I mean, completely deranged.
ABC News senior investigative reporter Aaron Katersky is with me now. So, Aaron, we just learned that the deputy police chief Cavelli told ABC, and I'm looking at the notes here, the rifle that the suspect used was not modified, meaning it would not have fired as an automatic. So what's the significance of this?
Well, it just means what it says. It was not modified to mimic automatic weapon fire, which could have done even more damage. But for all intents and purposes, thank goodness it wasn't. He did enough damage with the
I was just going to say, when you see that poor little 2-year-old boy who now is an orphan, you just think, okay, yeah, it could have been worse, though, to your point. Deputy police chief saying that the suspect had an affinity towards the number 4 and 7, and therefore the inverse, 7-4. So is that a reference to the date? How does this change the investigation?
It may help explain why the attack was carried out on July 4th, but police aren't sure of what the significance is, whether it may symbolize some kind of
I was wondering what that was, Arianthi.
or whether it may have something more to do with his music.
Like we're feeding the birdie
has been assigned to
feed the beardy
neo-fascist ideology, because if you smush the numbers together, it could represent the Nazi flag, the swastika. But it could also be associated with a rap group out of Brooklyn called Pro Era, which got in trouble for using the symbol. Because
I agree with Arianthi. Arianthi's opinion is that he needed an intervention. He needed an inpatient stay that was indefinite. Yeah, he was definitely unstable. The fact he was with an uncle is interesting to me as well. It says that there's some behavior that he exhibited that uncle allowed that nobody else allowed, in my opinion. And I wonder if that'll turn out to be true.
Because of its association with the Nazi flag, here police just haven't said how it might factor into the investigation. He was obsessed with numbers, if you look at some of his social media posts, and there was an awful lot of internet subculture that he appears to be trying to tie himself to.
Which does bring us to the mental health struggles that we are learning more and more about. So 2019, right, there was this police report that he was hoarding a stash of knives, which was taken from the house, as I understand it. So how is it that he was legally able to buy a gun?
There was no law in Illinois that would have stopped him. In April of 2019, police were called to the family home because they said he had attempted suicide. 5 months later, he apparently threatened to kill everyone in his house, and police at the time did confiscate more than a dozen knives, a dagger, even a sword. Those items.
This seems pretty alarming, though.
Well, it was alarming enough that police were called, but not so that they actually made an arrest. And without an arrest, there really is not a good mechanism in our system to ultimately flag someone. He passed a number of background checks when he applied for a firearm in order to get his firearm owner ID card, a prerequisite in Illinois, because he was under 21. His own father, presumably someone he had previously threatened, had to sign off.
We had the former police chief of San Bernardino telling us, listen, every single state is different, and in some states, the bar for a so-called red flag is so very high, which I guess this point proves.
Well, in order to get flagged, it would have taken an act by his family in order to apply for a judge's sign-off to either confiscate existing weapons or prevent him from buying new ones. In this case, his family did not even want to press charges in the 2019 episode where he seems to have threatened them. And his own father signed off, as I say, on his application for a gun owner's ID. So there was nothing in a state with a robust firearms law that prevented him from buying weapons. The Illinois State Police said at the time of his application, there was nothing to make them consider him a clear and present danger.
Aaron, thank you so much. Aaron Katersky with us there.
Hi, he's back. George Stephanopoulos, guys. This guy, yeah, he seems unstable as all hell. Unstable as all hell. It's just so wild. Well, we are in the second hour of News Dump today. If the first half isn't on YouTube immediately, you guys be sure to follow me on Twitch and Facebook. I just double checked. The first half of News Dump is definitely on Twitch in its entirety. It didn't drop. It was just the YouTube servers that dropped. So the entirety of the previous stream is on Facebook and Twitch. You know, uppercase Murk, lowercase radio on Twitch and Facebook, Murk TV on YouTube. While I have you guys here too, let's talk about Pillar.io/MURKradio. One-stop shop for all of our sponsor links, all of our endorsements, my music on Spotify, my merch store, get you a t-shirt. Very bottom, if you click that lava lamp, boom, you go to the merch store. We have the summer line, Vibes, baby. $20 tie-dyes. It says Vibes embroidered into the shoulder. Look, or embroidered into the breast. Don't spend $20 at the bodega, dude. Spend $20 to support your favorite YouTube channel. Your favorite sweaty gamer boy. And grab a tie-dye. We're only taking PayPal right now. But if you don't have PayPal, you should. They're about to start an overdraft style thing.
President Biden will sign an executive order today.
It's super worth it. All right, let's go back to the Explore page. We talked about Boris Johnson in the previous stream. Let's see here. See what we've maybe missed. And just move to open floor. If you guys want to pop in the Discord, I'm in the Discord. Feel free to get in here. Say what's up. I should be, yeah. My audio is working fine. You know what we haven't done in a while on News Dump? We haven't checked on our boy Alex Jones. How do you guys think Alex Jones is holding up? And should we check on him? Oh no. Tommy Loren. Oh no. All right. Oh, here we go. Finally, oh, here's a Georgia Guidestones update. Here's a story we've been following. The Georgia Guidestones. They are no more. The ghost of Conald potentially blew them up. I think I have confirmation of that. We covered it on the previous stream last night. On last night's news dump. Check out yesterday's news dump.
So I spoke with some people that live here in Elberton, and they tell me that the Guidestones were a major attraction to this area. However, I've also been told that the perception is split because while some people may view it as demonic or satanic, others admired the craftsmanship and they loved the tourism aspect. And people tell me that it also represented the granite industry here.
He had the designs and the specifications for what he wanted. He also had the funding to do it.
According to the Elbert County Chamber, a man who went by the name R.C. Christian said he represented, quote, a small group of loyal Americans who believe in God. R.C. Christian wasn't his real name, and the group wished to remain anonymous, adding to the structure's mystique.
It was such a mysterious structure. Again, I think R.C. Christian was Ted Turner. That's my personal opinion. That's my conspiracy theory, is that it wasn't the deep state, it wasn't Skull and Bones, it wasn't the Freemasons. This was Ted Turner. This was Ted Turner being weird, doing Ted Turner stuff. But maybe I'm wrong. Probably wrong.
Whenever you get somebody that doesn't want to give their name, that wants to create something like this and uses a pseudonym, it fuels that, and people start speculating.
R.C. Christian said the group wanted to leave messages for future generations. The astrological granite monoliths, known as America's Stonehenge, were inscribed with 10 guiding principles for humanity.
Pieces of the monument.
Unveiled back in 1980, as you can see from this video from our archives, they stood at just under 20 feet high with more than 4,000 individual letters, drawing a lot of controversy over the years related to religion and the Guidestones' intention.
There was 8 languages that were on each of the wings, and then there were languages on the top capstone.
According to the Elbert County Chamber, the messages on the stones highlighted topics such as how the nation should be run, humanity, and social duties. In part, some in English read, maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature.
500 million. I said a way lower number the other day. I said a way lower number. That's still a dramatically lower number than we currently have on the planet. Damn.
Guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. Rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason. Prize truth,
Centralia,
beauty,
Pennsylvania.
love seeking harmony with the infinite. And just
Arianthe, I'll do you one better. Not only did I not know that Centralia, Pennsylvania was still on fire, I didn't know there was a Centralia, Pennsylvania. I was not aware that town existed. Check that out. There's the Georgia Guidestones, guys. They're gone. That was them. Now they're gone. Centralia, Pennsylvania is where we're going now. Shout out Arianthe. Anything from recently? Anything from recently? Burning since 1962? Really? What? That's what the steam is from? It's from a... What's this? Okay. Who is this?
Life in Centralia was good. It was home.
Let's get some scoop on this.
Before 1962, life in Centralia was good. It was home to a few thousand residents and resembled much of small-town America. There were hotels, churches, and multiple schools. It was a community like any other, and was considered, generally speaking, a safe and happy place to live.
Okay.
The main business in Centralia was coal mining. For more than 100 years, coal had been extracted from a labyrinth of tunnels beneath the town.
I like this guy's channel. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead. I already like his voice. I already like his editing and the quality of the video. I'm going to do what everybody who's watching this video should do and smash that thumbs up. Bam. Because it's really going to help him in the algorithm. I'm also going to smash that subscribe. Probably hit that bell. Yeah. Yeah, you guys do that too. Do that for Murk TV or MURKradio if you're on Twitch or Facebook.
Many of these now lay empty, but the supplies of coal were nowhere even
Hop
close
on
to
YouTube
running
and give me
out.
a smash if you're on Twitch
In fact,
or Facebook.
There was enough of the stuff still in the ground to keep Centralia prosperous for decades, if not centuries. This all changed in 1962, when the city council decided that a landfill site inside an old strip mine on the edge of town needed to be cleaned up.
Is that just a building or plot of land called Oddfellows? Can someone... like, I'm not tripping. You guys see that too, right? Oddfellows? I want that land. I want it. I want that land. And it still's toxic. I don't want that land then. My bad. It is right next to the landfill.
This was something that was done on a fairly routine...
I retract that. I take that back. I don't want this land. I don't. But it's named Oddfellows, and that's cool.
...basis in Centralia, and the method that was used was usually a controlled burn. Burning a landfill would drive out vermin, take care of any odour, and turn bulky garbage into nice compact ash. The volunteer fire department of Centralia had countless times before used controlled fires to clean up illegal dumping sites around the town. This time, however, things didn't go to plan. Despite the best efforts of firefighters to damp down the landfill after the burn, the fire refused to go out.
Dang.
Over the next few days, smoke was seen rising from the landfill several times. Volunteer firefighters attended again and again to pour more water on the smoking garbage and use bulldozers to stir up the material in the landfill. Each time, the smoke briefly stopped rising before returning again a few days later.
We should buy Oddfellows together, put a cult compound there, and live Silent Hill. Just live it. Just live in this crazy silence. Centralia, Pennsylvania. This sounds like a strange Stephen King novel, honestly. Like, there's some kind of demon perpetually burning in the coal mines. Do you guys think... Oh... It's a spot for farming. Well, I bet you can't farm anything worthwhile there with the entirety of the crust of the earth under the town on fire, but okay.
As days turned into weeks...
Centralia, Pennsylvania, guys. Shout out Arianthe for sending us this story. Apparently this town that we're talking, it's still burning down there. It's a dragon, says Graph. Yeah, what cryptid is down there? What mythological beast do you guys think this is? Is there a ghosty thing? Is this a... Who knows? Pennsylvania, man. Is it some kind of Stephen King or Lovecraftian cosmic horror? Like eternal spirit of damnation from an alien planet just living down there? Or from a different dimension? I don't know.
The firefighters dug deeper and made a terrible discovery. A mine shaft leading from the pit into a deep coal mine had not been properly sealed up before the pit had been converted to a landfill. Now, this open shaft had allowed the fire to spread underground and start feeding on the vast reserves of coal still in place there. Rather than a fire in a landfill, Centralia was now dealing with a mine fire. Mine fires are notoriously difficult to extinguish. In the average coal mine, there is an abundance of fuel, and the many corridors and shafts provide a steady supply of oxygen. Once established, fires in coal mines spread slowly but steadily, and stubbornly resist every attempt to extinguish them. Sealing every entrance to deny the fire oxygen is impossible, as there are often thousands of cavities in the rock through which oxygen can be drawn. Drowning the fire doesn't always work either, as incredible amounts of water are required. If even a tiny fire remains after dousing, it will dry out the surrounding area and begin to spread once more. With all this in mind, it's not unknown for mine fires to burn for decades. In the case of Centralia, quick and decisive action might have saved the day. While the fire was still small and relatively contained,
That's
it would
insane.
have been possible to dig up the entire
Not unknown for them to burn for decades. Oh, not for farming. Got you. I wonder. I mean, I wonder if something comes out of that tunnel. It's gonna smell like sulfur and booty and burnt trash. Some burnt trash monster. Oh my gosh. This is a night. We are really destructive. We are a really destructive species.
area, exposing and extinguishing the fire, or else to dig a trench around the likely location of the fire and install a fireproof barrier. But, unfortunately, decisive action wasn't taken. Instead, the city council debated plans of action, calculated costs, and sought approval and state assistance. Questions of responsibility arose. Was the fire the purview of Centralia, or the township that surrounded it? Could the state government fund the operation? Letters were sent and appeals were made. The job of tackling the fire was tendered, bids taken, budgets trimmed, and while all this was happening, the fire continued, slowly but surely, to spread. With every passing day, the cost and level of disruption required to extinguish it grew.
It's just part of this Pennsylvania town. They're just like, hit the siren, man. Oh, shit. The fire's back. The fire's back. No point in dousing it. Let's just go hit the Ramada for a couple days, you know?
And it often grew just a few steps ahead of the actual response.
Arianthy's I think it might be a fire demon, right? It might be some kind of hell spawn down there, man.
For example, one company was hired to dig out the fire, but found that it was spreading just a little bit faster than they could dig. Another attempt was made to smother the fire with water and slurry, but the project ran short of funds and material before completely extinguishing the blaze. The fire survived and continued to grow. Other projects were delayed because of budgetary concerns, or put on hold while the correct permits and permissions were sought. The fire in Centralia was by no means the only mine fire burning in the state of Pennsylvania, and so the city had to fight constantly for funding, attention, and permission to take action. Soon enough,
you know how we might be able to check that out, Arianthy? Look, a fire would have to have stayed lit all the way from the UK over to here, so on a boat. But like lamps, torches, I feel like, depending on how fire demons work, some kind of fire demon could have legit made it over here. But maybe we'll talk about that in Cryptid Roulette, next Cryptid Roulette. We got to do another Cryptid Roulette, Arianthy. I'm hooked on that now.
The fire had spread to underneath the town of Centralia itself. Residents went about their lives with an inferno beneath their feet. For some of them, there were no adverse effects, and indeed there were even some positive ones. Several streets, thanks to the heat rising from the fire below, never needed to be cleared of snow. Residents also experienced warm temperatures all year round, enabling them to grow crops like tomatoes and other fruit in the bare earth. Of course, for most people, the fire was far from good news. As well as warm temperatures, the fire vented poisonous gases up through the ground, some of which flowed directly into houses and places of work.
Oh no!
Residents in these areas had to live with constant carbon monoxide alarms and routine visits from inspectors, who would test the gas levels in their...
That's horrible. They just have people coming over to test the gas levels. They're just sleeping or doing their job. They're flipping a burger and they smell something weird, and it's like, oh snap, we're out of oxygen, dude. We got to get out of town. The fire's back.
Homes and instruct them to leave their windows open 24 hours a day. These precautions weren't sufficient. It was totally routine for residents in the worst affected areas to constantly suffer the headaches, drowsiness and confusion of carbon monoxide poisoning. Worse still, sinkholes would sometimes open up as the fire burned away coal beneath the city. In 1981,
really
a
isn't a
12-year-old
joke,
boy
yeah.
nearly died when a sinkhole 15 stories deep opened up in his backyard, venting hot steam and poisonous gases. He was saved by a tree root, which he was able to cling onto until his cousin could rescue him. Residents complained and protested, but by now the fire had spread over such a vast area that a solution was starting to seem out of reach. To extinguish the fire completely, a huge tract of land would have to be excavated. This would require a significant portion of the town to be demolished, and would take up to 10 years of consistent, hard, and dangerous work. When it first began, the fire might have been extinguished by an investment of a few thousand hours of work and a sum measured in thousands of dollars. Now, with it
foraging and a couple other things I've done, I've ended up with a few different lungfuls of chemicals. I've also been overwhelmed by chlorine once, which isn't fun. That's not fun. I've just unintentionally violated the Geneva Convention in the lines of work I've had, and really gassed the piss out of myself. I'm damn near inoculated to chlorine though. I really gotta be in it to even feel it.
Reaching under the entire town, the cost of extinguishing it exceeded the real estate value of Centralia itself. And so, years after the fire began, a new solution was proposed. The town would be abandoned.
What?
The US government bought out the vast majority of the remaining residents. The population dwindled as families fled. The town that had been home to more than 1,000 people in 1960 was home to just 16 by the year 2010. Centralia now barely exists. Its postcode is no longer recognized by the United States Postal Service. The vast majority of houses and other buildings have been demolished. The fire still burns beneath the ground, venting smoke through cracks in the road and melting the snow as it settles each winter. A final few residents still live in the boundaries of the town, but they have been forbidden.
That's so many chimneys. Is that all chimneys? What is that? Those shouldn't be chimneys because they don't actually, only the one exhausts all the way. Do they connect somewhere? That's so weird. I hate this. That's two for sure. What are these columns? Oh, it's so ugly. It's so ugly. I hate it so much.
From passing on their property when they die. One day soon, Centralia will be nothing more than a memory. Long after it has been erased from existence, however, the fire which destroyed it, the fire begun by a single careless burn in a landfill on the edge of town, will still be blazing beneath the earth.
Huh. Crazy, dude. Crazy, Arianthe. Yo, Centralia, Pennsylvania. The news needs to talk about you more. We should... Yo, Elon Musk, get on that. Get on the fires in Pennsylvania. Did you know it's not uncommon for a mine fire to burn for decades? That's crazy. That's crazy. It shouldn't be like that. Now, I've been seeing almost nonstop coverage of this Brittany Griner story. I don't recall what it's about. But let's see if maybe we can get a recap. Maybe we're adding another story to News Dump. It's News Dump, so there has to be a lot of it. And we're catching up, so let's see.
WNBA star Brittany Griner has pleaded guilty to drug charges in Russia. It is a story that we brought...
Oh. Damn. That's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. Man, it's like getting found with hash and turkey, right? That sucks.
Brought to you as breaking news yesterday on 9 News Mornings. Our 9 News legal analyst Whitney Traylor is joining us now to talk more about this case. Thank you for coming in.
Sure, it's good to be here.
You know I love that bow tie.
Oh, thank you.
So let's go back.
I like these two. What up, Tripper? What up, Tripper? Hey, all of you just now showing up. Just a quick reminder, this is part 2 of News Dump today. Normally I do 2 hours in one video. It is broken up into 2 videos. There's a 47-minute video on Twitch and Facebook for sure. YouTube, the server dropped. It might show a video. It might be a little funky. If not, be sure to follow MURKradio on Twitch, Facebook. You can find part 1 from today's News Dump on there. I'll put the links in the comments of the video or in the description. So there'll be a link.
What led up to her arrest?
Right, so it's really interesting. She was over there playing.
What up, Tripper?
She plays during the off season on a Russian team, and so she had during the as she arrived in the country, she had a little oil, I guess hish hash oil, and so
hish hash oil. Hold up. Hold up. You just called it hish hash oil? Hey, leave her alone. Nothing wrong with a little hash oil. Leave her alone. Was it like edible hash oil? Like, or did she bring some dabs? Either way, lighten up, Russia. Lighten up. Look, I was just talking negatively about the prohibition mentality earlier, and Russia sounds like they're extra with it. And look what it's led to. People driving tanks, drunk on vodka, wearing Adidas, squatting with their they're squatting with their heels all the way on the ground. Proper Slav stuff. You can't prohibit so much. Particularly from Slavs.
Like
for a vape pen.
Oh, it's your birthday, Tripper? Happy birthday! Happy birthday. Oh, heck yeah. I'm glad I'm live too, man. What a special occasion. Heck yeah. We're gonna hit the dub horn for it. It's Tripper's birthday! What up, dude? Hell yeah. You got the birthday clown graphic.
For a vape pen, exactly right, that was illegal. And so they actually detained her, and they've charged her now with large-scale transportation of drugs, even though it was less than a gram. And there was no pen, there was
less than a gram. I don't know about you guys, but when I have less than a gram of anything, I am out. I am out of that substance. If you were to ask me if I have any of said substance, I would say no, I am out. I do not have any. Did she even remember she had it? How much under a gram are we talking? Because if it's like, close to a gram, okay, she took one dab. I'm sure the trip was stressful. Yeah, less than a gram is out. 100% Ari Anthony. Like, yes, Ari Anthony, 100%. There's no... If I have less than a gram, and again, I'm no mathematician, but if I have less than a gram of anything, I am out of that substance and I am getting more. It's crazy.
Nothing else. It was just the oil that
down,
she
Russia.
said, and she accidentally, she was rushing as she packed, and there was no intent to bring it in, is what she argued.
What's the potential?
Yeah, she thought she was out. This is like literally a whole Ron White bit, I believe.
Sentence for that in Russia?
It's up to 10 years. And so she's been there since February. So she's already been detained for 5 months, and they just started her trial, and they had one day, and now it's scheduled again for maybe 10 days from now. And so the trial itself may take weeks and possibly even months, because they don't do it just day after day like we do here.
Russian law is so interesting. Now, I know a lot of people were saying...
Interesting? It's horrifying, lady. It's not fascinating. What a Spock thing to say. That was a very neutral thing to say. But lady, let's back that up. And maybe let's go with Russian law is horrifying. What the hell?
You know, that this was planted, this isn't really what happened. So she did plead guilty, saying that she did have this, again, a small amount. But is this part of the strategy?
Right, because she wasn't pleading guilty, and so this was really her first opportunity to address the court. And apparently the strategy is...
Harry Anthony, it's fascinating because it isn't her or her kid. Yeah, very fair point. Very Karen statement.
To say, you know, that there
Your
was
Karen
no intent
show.
to actually acknowledge that, to sort of grease the wheels for
News
the
anchor
judge
lady.
potentially later, because...
Look, Jimi Hendrix shirt, dreadlock. There's so much more than under a gram going on with Britney. If you were to ask Britney on any given day and they had under a gram of hash oil left, hey, you got any hash oil? They'd say, no, I'm out. I don't get, this is crazy.
In Russia, the acquittal rate is less than 1%. So the chances of an acquittal are very nominal. And so I think what they're also trying to do is set this up for a potential political prisoner swap or something else. So that's why I think they pled guilty, and it was a strategy. Mm-hmm.
Let's talk a little bit about that, because there is this conversation about a prisoner swap. And a lot of people are pushing for President Biden to even get more involved in this. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, it's interesting because President Biden did just get involved, and she actually wrote this handwritten letter to the president that got to him. He wrote back. Him and Kamala Harris have been talking to Brittany Griner's wife, and they're starting to get involved. But the discussion about the prisoner swap is for a potential prisoner here in the States, Victor Bout, who's serving a 25-year sentence for arms dealing.
That's completely different. That's Russia's trade. I can't even. I couldn't even before, but I can't even with that. That's insane. That's wild. Like, they are not even on the same scale of criminal. No way is that a fair exchange. The Illuminati would never approve. The Illuminati would never approve, right? No way.
And so there's a lot of people saying this isn't comparable.
Right.
This is a 1 gram thing, and now you have they call him the
under a gram thing, bro.
Minister of murder.
It's not a fair swap.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And then other people are saying, well, we have Marine Paul Whelan over in Russia as well. Why isn't that being more pronounced? And then people are pointing out the disparities as it even relates to the professional sports and saying, look, if this was Tom Brady or LeBron James, you know, all hell would be breaking loose over here to try and get them out.
Because it said she's a WNBA star. Okay. So by her pleading guilty, I'm sure, what does that look like in terms of like a prison sentence if she's convicted and it's in Russia? Do we even know?
We don't know. It could be up to 10 years, and that was the idea, was that pleading guilty, there would be some mercy on her from the judge. So the prosecution is in the middle of presenting its case. We don't know what her actual defense is going to be. Maybe it's going to be
this law. I wish it could be that this law is stupid and it's recreationally legal where they live. Probably this is insane. Or they have a medical card. That's
there was no intent to break.
I'll trade you one plant smoker for one arms dealer.
That's insane. One totally law-abiding citizen by your nation's standard, by their state's standards, a province within your nation, a law-abiding citizen by your standards. We need you to give us back our war criminal. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get the fuck out of here. That's crazy.
Interesting, because a lot of this is also related to the political and the diplomacy aspects, because some people are saying, well, this is from Vladimir Putin detaining her a week before the war in Ukraine.
Right.
So there's all these other variables, and it looks like it's going to be a political thing. And Russia said, we're not even going to discuss a swap until the trial is over. And so if she gets convicted, then that will be, part of the discussions about trying to get her released.
So again, she did plead guilty. She said, let me get my stuff in order to be able to tell people a little bit more about what happened. And I think that's happening next week, is another process of this, right?
That's exactly right. There's another hearing next week. And so even though she pled guilty, it's not like over here where you plead guilty and then you go to the sentencing phase. phase. She's saying, yes, I admitted this, I did it, but I didn't have intent. And so I think that was really more, not necessarily for the trial, partly for the trial, because they're saying, look, the Russians are saying the U.S. involvement, President Biden and all these.
It is some Locked Up Abroad. This is like an episode of Locked Up Abroad. Absolutely, Tripper. Absolutely. And it kind of comes down to almost like Cold War tactics on, we got to get this arms dealer back. That's so weird.
These people are
Russia, you get so weird, so quick.
And the Russians, because their judicial system looks very weak and unfair. And so that's all, part of the discussions in terms of the diplomacy and things like that.
Well, we'll see what happens. I have a feeling we'll chat with you more about this in the coming weeks.
Happy to be here.
Whitney, thank you. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, gang. Man, crazy. All right. Anything else? We're open forum now, guys. We are now open floor. Any news anyone wants to talk about? Any news anyone wants to talk about? We can check out what former PMs who resigned said. Kidding. I'm kidding. I don't feel like doing that. I'm getting ready for the work day now, guys. Let's see. Highland Park has been such a tragic story, man. That's been a tough one. Yeah, kick her, Arianthe, exactly. Kick Brittany out if you have a problem with the hash oil. Tell her not to come back. Don't in prison. Don't try to use her to game the system to get a damn... get someone out. Look, guys. For all of you that maybe missed it last stream, here is the ghost of Conald planting a bomb at the Georgia Guidestones. This brave patriot blew up this horrible scheme, evidence of a scheme to reduce the world population and control us. You brave hero, look at him. A belligerent wisp caught on camera. Like I said, this is Conald. This is the ghost of Fed Smoker. Rest in peace, Conald. Guys, check out the previous stream to get caught up on Fed Smoker. Okay. Let's see. It's time to check on our boy. It's time to go to the messiest website this side of the Heaven's Gate cult, Infowars.com.
We don't want your vitamins, Jones.
We don't want your vitamins, Jones. I do want to watch this banned video. What do we got? Oh, he's just tagging.
As it all comes out that Hunter Biden was a Chinese spy.
What?
Was raping children.
What?
Was working for his father to launder money.
What?
That's in congressional hearings. That's in White House press briefings. It's all over the news. Why are they bringing it out now, not during the campaign? Because they want to burn the minion as things collapse and blame him.
They burning minions?
Throw him in the political bacon grease, the deep fryer.
What?
But throw those that control him onto the ash heap of history as well. Unbelievable time to be alive. And what do you think?
Is he just casually doing VO for something else right now?
Come back and get into all of that, and we've got so much to cover. And all these newscasts saying you will eat bugs again,
what?
And we're going to ban the beef, and it's already happening in Europe. I mean, it's
ban
just
the beef.
Incredible to be alive right now and to be witnessing all of this. Now, if we can, I want to run some B-roll for TV viewers of the big sale we've got going on right now.
Oh, no, hell no.
Because InfoWars
is. He's still shilling vitamins hard.
Oh, supply chain breakdowns, everything that's going on. And it could be your life.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm glad my browser doesn't support it at the moment because he's about to shill vitamins, which means we have to shill our merch store. That's pillar.io/MURKradio. Link in description. We've got everything there. We've got all of our sponsorships and endorsement links. We've got my music on Spotify on a convenient player. You want to listen to hours of your boy's sweet eclectic jazz tones, I've got you right here. And I don't care if you put it on your stream. I'll go for it, dude. Hopefully, if you get a copyright strike, I should lift it. And my favorite, if you click the lava lamp, boom, you get the actual MURKradio merch store. About to be rebranded as Murk TV. We've got a summer line going on. Check it out. We've got one of my favorite things I have right now. It's just it's a lady's hoodie dress, and it says my boyfriend's hoodie on it. That could be yours. That could be yours. But you gotta have PayPal, and you gotta go to pillar.io/MURKradio. All right. Let's go back. Let's go back to our boy here. Let's go back to Alex Jones. The truth about Boris. He's still going on about that. Yeah, he's hawking vitamins. It's so regal looking, his vitamin setup. Go over to this screen while he's hawking vitamins.
I never noticed that his coffee was called Wake Up America.
Wake up, America! I like that we have Death Wish coffee. I'm excited to hear how Erica likes her coffee. It's good. I bet it's really good. You got an interesting flavor like blueberry, like a dark roast. Shout out Death Wish Coffee. They are a sponsor.
I wonder how much more all of his vitamins cost compared to actually just going to the doctor.
You know what I mean, dude? For real. That's a very good point. Stop. Internet failure. Oh no.
You only.
Not here.
You only.
I like it. Like he was doing the silver. Like, dude, that'll turn you blue if you take too much of it. It's not good for you. It's not good for you, Jones. Yeah, and they run. He really plugs. Like, I feel like I spend too much time plugging. I don't plug enough. I don't plug enough. Look at him with his alpha brace, super female vitality now. I don't. That's a little bit of a tone deaf plug. But do you, Jones? I'm sure there's hella female viewers out there still. I bet he's got his demographic too when he hits a bar or something. Ladies that are just like, ooh, that's my... What is this grim situation he has here?
Exactly what I told you happened. I only promote and sell things that I believe are the very best plan for myself personally.
That's still an ad. I thought he was back. You tricked me, Jones. Evil. You're evil. That's a capitalist right there. Nothing wrong with it. Do you, boo-boo? Jeez. Lexapure. Dude, apparently his broth, the bone broth, is horrible. I watched a video forever ago. It was a guy on from Oh, he's hawking the food buckets. No. No.
Of course he is.
Oh, guys, the food bucket industry is the real Illuminati, dude. They want you living in a hole in the ground, dude. Don't trust that. They've been doing this shit since Y2K. Don't trust that. In any way, shape, or form. Yeah. Whole pallets of buckets, dude. Gross. His little warehouse space. I don't like it. keep the freaking frogs from turning gay. I'm gonna keep these frogs gay. How about that? I'm gonna put ecstasy in the water in that specific river that those frogs are turning gay. I hope every right winger is so upset right now. Because we're putting bikinis on these frogs. We're watching Drag Race with these frogs. Okay, now it looks like InfoWars proper is back. We can all welcome back Alex Jones. He's probably playing some copywritten music. But welcome back, Alex Jones. We like your cool planet graphic, your Aurora Borealis theme. Cool how often you can just jump themes like that. He has a cool set. It costs too much though. Do you guys hear like how much Alex Jones' set costs? Like, it was in the millions. Single digit millions, but millions. I stand gay frogs too, Arianthe. We're all for gay frogs here at MURKTV/MURKradio. All about it. All about it. All right. The man himself, Uncle Alex, is back. That was Rammstein, and it is copywritten. Sorry. Can't do it. Here he is.
John Paul Jones. Here is Vladimir Putin saying the war has not even begun yet.
Сегодня мы слышим, что нас хотят победить на поле боя. Ну, что здесь сказать?
What up, Putin?
Мы уже много слышали, что Запад хочет воевать с нами до последнего украинца. Это трагедия для украинского народа. Но, похоже, все к этому и идет. Но все должны знать, что мы-то...
Yeah, Merkini, if you're a gay frog, hit me up. I'll just buy you a Merkini.
При этом мы не
You want the vibes
отказываемся от
bikini?
переговоров. Но те, кто отказывается,
Because you're a
должны
gay
знать,
frog, I got you.
что чем дальше, тем сложнее им будет с нами договариваться.
So Putin says we want peace, but you've escalated the war, and we've only begun to fight.
Oh no.
And you've not seen anything yet.
We haven't.
And we're going to
They're
start
the only ones escalating things.
Right?
Borders of Europe that are shipping weapons in. And if the West responds, it'll go nuclear.
What?
That's what his adjuncts, his aide-de-camps, his attachés had to say.
The Illuminati doesn't want us to go nuclear. Nuclear. I said it right.
Dead troops in a war and people pressing an attack does not indicate failure. It indicates commitment.
Alex Jones grew up as Bill Hicks and then became Alex Jones. So he didn't grow up as Alex Jones. This is a character that Bill Hicks is still playing.
We're going to take your phone calls now. I told you.
He can't admit that he faked his death.
100 calls.
I said it.
That means in the 8 minutes left, I'm going to take
I know the
calls
truth.
right now. Jeff in California, you're on the
I
air.
think heat on Alex. Oh, Putin? How did Putin become that? I don't know.
Format is 60 seconds for every caller.
Vodka tanks, etc.
I agree with you about Putin. I read in the Economist magazine over a decade ago.
I only know tropes about Russia because I'm American.
Set up to be the top 4 largest economies in 2050. So I do feel
we're American trippers, so we only know tropes about Russia.
With Schwab, with the NWO, it's a perfect way to destabilize the West. The ruble's at an all-time high. Everything benefits Putin. Everything benefits the globalists by this controlled invasion into Ukraine. I think that there really isn't a risk of nuclear war from Russia, but probably from China in the later part of this decade. I'm going to hang out pretty soon. You get the rest of the callers. I took some pollen block this morning because I had poison oak and it worked great. So if you guys are looking for something for antihistamine, something to keep down any sort of allergic reaction. The pollen block with the quail eggs really did work well for me.
What? With
but I do
quail
respectfully
eggs?
disagree with you about Putin.
Jeff, we do not disagree. I saw Owen Schroyer.
Quail eggs ain't going to help with poison oak.
No.
Russia controls Biden. No, there's a bigger New World Order.
Shout out
I
Az
totally agree
with the
you.
quails.
They're preparing the end of the United States and Europe and the rise of this new global government with China and Russia at the heart of it. I actually agree with you, sir. Appreciate your call. Let's go ahead and talk to another caller, Noel in
Neil.
Well, Alejandro, I spoke to a source
Get in here,
last
Neil.
summer who works for a Michigan grocery supplier, one of the largest in the states, who had told me back last summer we're going to see 10 to 15% increases in grocery prices. That was last summer. I was at the grocery store the other day in northern Colorado. $21 for a cheap almond butter. We have yet to see the astronomical prices at the grocery store.
I agree, and it's already astronomical. I mean, this is unbelievable.
I spoke to a man who works in logistics for a sheriff's company in one
Grow
of the
some of
largest,
your own shit.
And staffing issues. There's low supply.
Years ago, he's been having a difficult time supplying sheriff's departments in this particular city. It's Boulder, Colorado, just to be exact. So just imagine small municipalities across the country who are having a tough time supplying their sheriff's department. Not necessarily that.
More than half the counties in the U.S. can't supply fuel. They've already done their yearly allocated budget. Only half the year's passed for fuel.
We're out of gas, guys.
God bless you. We're in the collapse, folks.
Oh, snap.
Unbelievable. Brian in Pennsylvania, welcome.
Alex, thank you for taking my call, sir. I really appreciate it. I heard the news about the assassination of Shinzo Abe last night.
We covered that on the previous
midnight,
stream.
Something like that. And so there was a reference material I wanted to just pull off my shelf, Brzezinski's The Grand Chessboard. And in the beginning of that book from 1997, he kind of dismisses the importance of Japan. He lays out a variety of countries and their value as, their ability to participate.
He says you got to control
war.
the center of the chessboard that is Central Asia.
Yeah, exactly. What I thought was interesting, though, is despite he kind of dismisses Japan, he only gives one sentence to it. Later in the book, he devotes about 10 to 20 pages.
And it dropped the InfoWars stream. It's the most unreliable server situation on the internet. We'll never know what that caller was gonna say. Only that it was said.
The mentor, but actually create stronger partnerships with Japan with China. And he pretty eloquently states all the reasons that they might actually want to partner with China, that they have.
But that's not happened. Instead, Japan's fully behind the U.S., and that's why Abe was assassinated, in my view. Thank you. Zach in Florida. Zach, you're on the air.
Hey,
he's got no time for these hoes and their
wanted to touch on,
redundant questions.
Also, Shinzo Abe being shot. After that happened, I was listening to the Secretary of Education speaking this morning, who was.
Are these all Owen Schroyer calling in?
Talking about taking everybody's guns as a solution.
Is this just the InfoWars staff calling in?
I was thinking the same thing after the first call.
Right?
Japan has a total gun ban, no civilian ownership of guns.
This is all 20 to 30-something-year-old white dudes.
That's a pretty powerful message.
Completely unreal, man. This is without a doubt, it's a systematic takedown that it's about time that people can't just be being nice anymore. We've got to start standing up.
Right, creepy.
Well,
he sure does.
Are pissed at Japan.
Boris
the
is the
Japanese
worst.
hate to make things that go obsolete.
Was
They've
the
got
worst.
Engines that run off, 100 miles to the gallon. They've got everything, and the Japanese are just incredible, and they're being blocked. And you can say what you want about the Japanese, but they are frickin' geniuses, and they just can't help but make stuff that's the best. And they got stuff 10 times better than what they've currently got, and they are just totally pissed. And he wanted to. Japan would dominate the world if they just turned them loose, but that's not what's happening. Thank you, Zach. Appreciate your call. Bill in Illinois. Bill, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Bill, Illinois.
Yes, sir, Alex. Love you. Been listening since you were trying to get us to put AM repeaters
Whoa,
in
here's
our
an
neighborhood.
Yes, sir.
Here's someone from our neck of the woods, Justin.
Hey, look, I'm ashamed I was a closet listener. I had a few friends that put their InfoWars stickers on their car proudly. But I was a civil servant in a bad town.
Who admits to being a
When I retired,
half-assed
I moved
fan?
to the country where I'm surrounded by farms.
Good.
I've been
Who does that?
precious metals, silver, gold,
Why?
lead, copper, and brass.
Yes, sir.
So
I don't understand.
just keep speaking truth to power. You're like a beacon in the distance, and people need to go to the light. Thank you.
Brother, thank you. We got 30 seconds left.
Wow.
What do you make of the Great Reset?
The great Alex Jones.
I think it's going to come down to a ground war. I really do.
Ground war?
I think a lot of...
Everything always comes to a ground war, doesn't it?
No.
Yes, and I think the cities will burn first, and that's going to be a clue for the suburbs to harden their...
What?
A little bit of a clue.
How casually he's like, I think the cities are going to burn first,
EBT cards won't work.
and the
No,
sinners are
they
going to
just won't
die
buy
in an
anything,
eternal
so-
hellfire.
And then the city's burned.
The stores
Perpetually,
be
over and
empty.
over.
What good is money when the store's empty?
Damn, that's the...
So,
what's good is money if the stores are empty. Thank you, brother. Great point, Bill. Wow. I just took like 7 calls in that segment. We're going to come back.
You sure did. Wow, Jones. Thanks. That last guy got evangelical. That got fire and brimstone there at the end. But also unusually casual. Unnervingly casual. So weird. So weird. Guys, we did it. We're at the end of News Dump for the day. Everybody having a good day so far? I'm just now really starting mine. So, wish me luck, guys. Got a little bit of work to do for an MMA event, and then back here to maybe play some Fall Guys with Arianthe and maybe some new European friends. Shout out Fizz and Van Helden. Some new Murkies from last night. Oh yeah, Derek was, let's all get in on some Fall Guys. Let's, me, you, and him do a 3-person squad. Let's tear it up. Graf says, I live in Illinois. That dude does not sound like he's from Illinois, not at all. He's probably 150 miles south, at least. I wouldn't doubt if this dude is calling from Texas or close to it. Yeah. Or Until Dawn. Ooh. I think I'd have to borrow it from you through Steam or something, or just watch you play it. We gotta do Until Dawn soon, though. Absolutely. Maybe next payday I'll look into getting that, and that'll be a whole thing. It's definitely on my list. It keeps moving up my list, honestly, Until Dawn. That looks great. Ooh. But let's see, I got Justin, are you in the Discord with me still? Word. I'm gonna go ahead and pop out of here and get ready for work.
Have a good day at work.
Absolutely, dude. Ariane, can you buy it for me? Maybe. I might get paid out on super chats if people keep super chatting. Don't worry about buying it for me though. Heck yeah, I'm gonna go get my grind on, dude. Make sure the show goes on. Oh, everybody out there in digital world again, pillar.io/MURKradio. It's where you can get all the MURKradio and MURKTV related merch and swag. Super chats go to a merch lottery at the end of the month. If I get paid out for my super chats, we choose someone random that super chat that submitted a super chat, and if we pull your name, you get to pick whatever you want from the merch store, and we buy it out of the super chat money and send it to you. So every super chat also goes basically a raffle ticket. So it all helps the channel. Anyway, later guys, take it easy. And be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And comment your favorite thing to eat for brunch. And happy birthday, Tripper!